Many people believe that the harder they chase something, the faster it will come to them. They think if they push, strive, and force, the universe will respond. But the truth is almost the opposite. When you chase, when you grip at your desires with anxiety and urgency, you are sending a signal not of abundance but of lack. You are telling the universe, I don't have it yet, I need it desperately, please make it happen. And that vibration of desperation pushes what you want farther away instead of drawing it closer. You see, the world does not respond to effort alone. It responds to the energy that you carry. Effort without alignment is like trying to row a boat upstream against a strong current. You may be moving, but you are exhausting yourself and going nowhere. Your desires are not external objects that you need to capture with struggle. They are reflections of the state you inhabit within. When you chase, you are anchored in the feeling of absence, in the thought of what is missing. That thought creates tension, anxiety, and a sense of incompletion. And energy flows where attention goes. So the more you chase, the more your attention is locked on the gap, on the not yet, and the universe simply mirrors that back to you. You are not manifesting your desire, you are manifesting the struggle, the frustration, and the distance. What changes everything is when you shift from chasing to being. When you stop the frantic pursuit and start cultivating the state of already having, you change your energy completely. You step into the feeling of fulfillment, into the certainty that your desire is already present in your life, even if your eyes have not yet seen it. And when you exist in that state, the universe does not resist. It moves toward you effortlessly, as if drawn by a natural magnetic force. There is no strain, no battle, no pushing required. You begin to notice that opportunities, people, and circumstances align themselves around you in ways you never could have forced. Chasing also creates a blind spot. When your eyes are fixed on the end result, you often miss the subtle signs, the quiet nudges, the doors opening right in front of you. The universe is always responding, always arranging, always moving to meet you where you are. But if you are busy grasping, if you are busy chasing, you are not present enough to see these signs. You are too caught up in the how and the when to recognize that your desire is already making its way to you. So the paradox is simple but profound. The harder you chase, the more elusive your desire becomes. The more you push, the more it slips through your fingers. The more you relax, embody the state of already having, and trust the process, the closer your desire comes. It is not about giving up. It is about releasing the desperate tension, letting your certainty carry the weight, and allowing the universe to respond to the state you inhabit. When you understand this, chasing loses its power. You begin to live from a place of confidence and alignment, not from fear or lack. Your desires do not have to be wrestled into reality. They come to you naturally when you are fully immersed in the energy of having, the joy of presence, and the unwavering belief that what you want is already yours. And when you stop chasing, you finally discover the secret. It was never about effort, it was always about being. Many people believe that if they want something, they must first see it, touch it, or somehow earn it through struggle. They chase it as if the universe is a distant place that needs convincing. But the truth is far simpler and more powerful than that. The universe does not respond to your pursuit. It responds to the state you inhabit, to the assumption you make. If you act as though your desire is already yours, if you live from the feeling of having it now, then the world cannot help but align itself to that reality. Your assumption shapes your experience, and your experience is a reflection of your inner state. When you chase, you are saying, it is out there somewhere waiting for me, and I must struggle to get it. This places your desire outside of yourself, beyond your natural influence, and creates a tension between what you want and who you are. But when you assume the feeling of already having, the tension disappears. You no longer struggle with absence, because absence no longer exists in your mind. You are already in possession of what you want. This assumption is not wishful thinking. It is a deliberate act of consciousness. It is choosing to embody the reality you intend to experience, long before the physical evidence appears. Living from this assumption changes everything. You begin to speak, act, and think in alignment with the reality you have chosen. Your words, your gestures, and even your thoughts carry the energy of fulfillment. The universe, responding to this consistent signal, moves circumstances, people, and events into perfect alignment with the state you inhabit. You begin to notice doors opening, coincidences unfolding, and opportunities appearing that you never could have orchestrated through force or effort. What was once distant and unattainable now comes naturally to you, because your inner world has already received it. Many fail to realize that chasing is rooted in the fear that their desire may never arrive. Fear creates urgency, and urgency creates tension. When you operate from fear, the universe simply mirrors it back to you. But when you act from assumption, from certainty, you replace fear with confidence. You are no longer trying to convince the universe. Instead, you live as if your desire has always been yours. This subtle shift in consciousness is what turns impossibility into inevitability. The physical world must conform to the state of your mind, because your mind is the blueprint from which reality is drawn. This is why so many people are frustrated with the idea of manifestation. They expect results without first changing the state within. They think action alone, no matter how relentless, will produce the outcome. But action without assumption is blind effort, often met with resistance and disappointment. Action should follow assumption, not precede it. When you assume, action becomes inspired rather than desperate. You move with ease, guided by intuition, and every step you take carries the energy of already having what you desire. The beauty of this principle is that it puts the power entirely in your hands. You do not need to wait for conditions to be perfect, nor do you need to persuade anyone or anything. All that is required is that you consistently inhabit the state of fulfillment, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Your assumption acts as a magnet, drawing your desire to you effortlessly. The universe cannot resist the certainty of your consciousness, so understand this clearly. It is not what you chase that matters, but what you assume. Act from having, live from being, and the world around you must respond. And when you realize this, you no longer chase because you already possess. Too many people focus on strategy, on methods, on the next step they must take to achieve what they want. They plan, they analyze, they exert every ounce of effort to make things happen. And yet, despite all this action, they often find themselves frustrated, exhausted, and empty-handed. This is because the external world is not the source of your power. The source of your power is within you. Your state, the quality of your thoughts, the feeling in your heart, the energy you carry, is the foundation of everything that manifests in your life. Without mastery of your inner world, all external efforts are like building a house on sand. It may rise for a moment, but it cannot endure. Your state is the lens through which reality appears. If your state is one of anxiety, doubt, or lack, then the world will appear hostile, indifferent, and scarce. If your state is calm, confident, and abundant, then opportunities, people, and circumstances will align themselves with that energy as if drawn by a magnet. The outer world always mirrors the inner world. You cannot manipulate the outside without first mastering the inside. Your mind is the garden, and your consciousness is the seed. Whatever you nurture within, whether fear or faith, scarcity or abundance, will grow and eventually appear outside. When people chase, they often ignore this truth. They think effort alone is enough. They run after their desires as if physical persistence could replace inner alignment. But chasing fractures your attention. It pulls you away from presence and plants your energy in longing and tension. Effort without state is like trying to start a fire with wet wood. No matter how hard you strike, the flame cannot ignite. But when your inner state is calm, certain, and aligned with your desire, every action you take becomes effortless and inspired. You move in the world not out of desperation, but out of assurance. You do not push, you flow. You do not struggle, you attract. The paradox is simple. It is not the doing that manifests, but the being. When you master your state, action becomes a natural extension of your consciousness. You are no longer fighting against reality. You are working with it. Your ideas, your choices, and your steps are guided by the clarity of mind and the certainty of inner fulfillment. Opportunities that once seemed random now appear as if by design, because your state has aligned you with them. Everything comes to meet you, not because of frantic pursuit, but because your being has become magnetic. Many people mistake external effort for progress. They confuse busyness with alignment, movement with manifestation. But the truth is deeper. The quality of your state determines the quality of your results. Fearful effort produces fear. Doubtful effort produces delay. Confident, aligned presence produces attraction. To master your desires, you must first master your state. You must cultivate calmness, clarity, and unwavering belief. You must live as though your desire is already a part of your present experience. and let your external actions follow naturally from that inner reality. Your state is the secret that no one can take from you, and it is the seed from which all fulfillment grows. No amount of chasing can replace it, and no external circumstance can hinder it when it is fully cultivated. When you understand this, you move through life with effortless confidence, knowing that the world bends to the reality of your consciousness. You are no longer at the mercy of chance or circumstance. You are the master of your inner domain, and the outer world cannot help but respond. When you act from this place of inner mastery, everything else falls into alignment, naturally and inevitably. Many. They think that to desire something strongly means they must cling to it, hold it tightly, and push until it arrives. They imagine that intensity and effort will force the world to respond. But the truth is that pushing, clinging, and obsessing create resistance, not attraction. The universe does not respond to grasping hands, it responds to a calm, certain mind that knows its desire is already fulfilled. Letting go is not abandoning your wish, it is releasing the tension that blocks it from coming. It is stepping back from struggle and trusting the invisible forces that are already arranging everything on your behalf. To let go does not mean to give up. It means to release the desperate need, to move from chasing to allowing. You still hold your vision. You still know what you want, but you no longer strain, no longer demand, no longer create friction through your anxiety. When you detach in this way, something remarkable happens. The desire you held so tightly begins to flow toward you naturally. There is an effortless current that carries it, and all you need to do is remain aligned with the feeling of having it. Letting go is an act of confidence, a demonstration that you trust life to respond to the state you inhabit. Most people confuse letting go with inaction, but it is not inaction at all. It is action from a state of certainty, rather than action from lack. When you act from desperation, every step is heavy, burdened with fear and doubt. When you act from assumption, each step is light, inspired, and perfectly timed. Letting go allows you to act when action is necessary, while avoiding unnecessary struggle. You begin to see that the world responds to your inner state more than your external effort. The more you release the tight grip of obsession, the more fluidly circumstances align themselves to bring your desire to you. Detachment also allows you to notice the subtle ways in which your desire is manifesting. When you are busy chasing, your eyes are fixed on the end result, and you miss the signs, the coincidences, and the opportunities that are already unfolding. But when you let go, when you step back with trust and calm certainty, you become fully aware of the ways the universe is responding. You see the small doors opening, the connections forming, the events orchestrating themselves in your favor. These are the quiet miracles that chasing always blinds you to, because chasing is noisy, tense, and impatient. This is the paradox. The more you release, the more you receive. The more you allow without interference, the more life flows toward you. The universe does not resist those who act from a place of calm assurance. It bends, it shifts, it arranges circumstances so that your desire arrives effortlessly. Letting go is not about giving up control, it is about recognizing the control you already have, the control of your state, your assumption, and your feeling. This inner control is infinitely more powerful than any external struggle. When you truly let go, you also cultivate a sense of joy in the present. You are no longer living in a future of lack, nor are you trapped in anxiety about timing, circumstances, or how things will appear. You live in the certainty that your desire is already yours, and in that certainty peace and happiness naturally arise. And from this peace, from this inner alignment, the world responds with equal harmony. So understand this, letting go is not surrendering your desire, it is stepping into the power of allowing, of trust, and of inner certainty. It is the quiet strength that pulls what you want toward you without strain or struggle. And when you let go, everything flows to you effortlessly. Many people believe that knowing exactly what they want is enough, that clarity of intention alone will bring their desires to them. And while clarity is important, it is not enough if it is mixed with obsession, anxiety, or fear. There is a difference between knowing your desire and becoming consumed by it. When you focus on the vision rather than the struggle, you align yourself with its energy. But when you fixate on the how, the when, or the obstacles in the way, you fracture your focus and repel what you seek. Clarity without tension, vision without obsession, is the state in which your desires are naturally drawn to you. When people chase, they are often trying to control the process. They want to see every step, dictate every turn, and measure every outcome. This need for control comes from doubt, from a subtle lack of faith that the universe will respond. But the moment you move from obsession to trust, from control to allowance, you enter a space where manifestation happens effortlessly. You no longer have to push or strive because your clarity, combined with inner calm, creates a magnetic field that pulls circumstances to you. You know what you want, you feel it already yours, and you allow life to unfold in perfect timing. It is in this space of clarity without obsession that miracles begin to occur. When your mind is free from desperation, you are able to see opportunities that others miss. You notice the subtle signs, the coincidences, the doors that open at just the right moment. The world responds to your inner state, and when that state is one of confident assumption rather than frantic pursuit, the flow of life becomes effortless. You act, yes, but your actions are guided by inspiration, by intuition, and by a natural alignment with your desire, rather than by anxiety or pressure. Many people think that intensity of effort equals results. They believe that the more they push, the faster they will receive. But the truth is that energy moves like a magnet. The energy of obsession, of desperate focus on lack, repels. The energy of clarity, of calm confidence, attracts. When you live in the feeling of having already achieved your desire, when your focus is on the vision and not the struggle, the universe mirrors that state back to you. Your desire moves toward you as naturally as water flowing to its level, without force or strain. Knowing what you want is powerful, but embodying it before it appears is transformative. You no longer wait for validation from outside. You no longer measure progress by external signs. Your focus is internal, on the reality you are creating in consciousness. Every thought, every feeling, every action is aligned with the state of fulfillment. And this alignment creates a seamless flow toward manifestation. The world cannot resist a mind that is clear, confident, and calm. When you are fully present in the certainty of what you want, life bends to your inner reality. So the key is this: clarity is essential, but obsession is destructive. Knowing without fixation, seeing without chasing, feeling without desperation, this is the balance that allows your desires to come to you naturally. When your vision is clear and your state is aligned, the outer world cannot help but follow. You act in perfect timing, and life unfolds in harmony with the reality you assume. And when clarity is coupled with calm, your desires arrive without struggle. Most people believe that to achieve what they want, they must chase it relentlessly, push harder, and make things happen through sheer effort. They focus on doing, on striving, on trying to force life into alignment with their desires. But the truth is that the most powerful force in manifestation is not chasing, it is presence. Being fully present in the state of fulfillment, in the feeling of having already received, is what makes you magnetic. It is not what you do, but the energy you radiate that draws your desires to you. The more present you are, the more effortless the arrival of your desires becomes. Chasing fractures your energy. It scatters your focus and sends out signals of lack, anxiety, and desperation. The more you push, the more tension builds, and tension always repels. But when you cultivate presence, when you fully inhabit the state of having, your energy becomes coherent, magnetic, and irresistible. People, opportunities, circumstances, they all respond naturally to this harmony. It is as if the universe leans toward you, arranging itself to match the reality you are already living internally. Presence is not passive, it is the most powerful form of action, because it is action aligned with certainty and inner knowing. When you are present, you stop measuring, doubting, or analyzing every step. You are no longer trying to manipulate outcomes or control timing. Instead, you live from the feeling that what you desire is already yours. This feeling informs every thought, every word, and every action you take. You act not from lack, not from pressure, but from inspiration. Each step is effortless, flowing naturally from the certainty you hold inside. Presence allows the unseen forces around you to move unhindered, so that everything aligns without struggle. Many do not realize that chasing often blinds them to the very manifestations they seek. They are so fixated on getting it that they miss it arriving in subtle ways. When you are present, however, your awareness is heightened. You notice the small shifts, the coincidences, the opportunities that are already moving into place. Life begins to feel fluid, as if every circumstance is bending toward you. You begin to understand that manifestation is less about what you do and more about how you feel, how you carry yourself, and how fully you inhabit the reality you wish to experience. Presence also brings a sense of peace. When you stop chasing, when you stop projecting your desires into a distant future, you live in the fullness of now. You enjoy life as it is, while quietly and confidently knowing that your desires are already responding to the energy you maintain. This peace is magnetic. People are drawn to it. Situations shift in harmony with it, and opportunities appear effortlessly. Presence transforms everything into a reflection of your inner certainty, removing struggle, fear, and resistance from the equation. The paradox is simple. The more you stop trying to force things, the more things naturally fall into place. The more you live in certainty, gratitude, and aligned awareness, the more powerful you become. Your desires are not objects to chase, they are realities that respond to the state you inhabit. The world bends not to desperation, but to presence. The universe moves in harmony with certainty, and when you embody that certainty fully, there is no need to chase, no need to push, no need to plead. So understand this clearly, presence is your most potent tool. It is the energy that draws everything you want without effort, without strain, without struggle. It is the state from which miracles flow and desires arrive naturally. And when you are fully present, everything comes to you effortlessly.